Hello. How are you? This is Elsie from bmascraftycorner, and today's project is these little wood-based dangles. So you have a wood piece where you can, stamp, or you can put a sticker or an image, or you can add some writing, whatever it is you want to do on the wood. And then just a little dangle coming off the bottom, like a little tassel coming off the bottom. And this one's I'm working on fraying, so it's not as full as it could be, but I'm working on fraying it. So this is going to be our project today. I'm going to go ahead and get a supply list ready for you, and I will be right back. Supplies for this one. Of course, you're going to want like a corner rounder, possibly. You'll want scissors, the basics. But in addition to that, you're going to want a few other things. You're going to want a heavy-duty hole punch, okay? You're going to want a pair of needle nose pliers. You're going to want some 8 to 10 millimeter jump rings. And then, your wooden shapes, your popsicle sticks. These are larger. These are like 1 inch. And these are just different shapes, different sizes. I think they're like $2 or $3 a bag. Also, at Michael's, they have these right now up in their bins. So you can get like butterflies or hearts or, squares. I think they have circles. They have all different shapes. So you're going to want all of that. And then you're going to want your gourd or bulb pins. Okay, and they look like this. These are the ones that look like that. Okay, just a quick tip. If you have a tray like this and you have little parts and pieces in it, whether it's eyelets, brads, your pins, and they're jumping all over the place, this is craft foam. Just cut a piece of craft foam that fits in there. And then when you close this up, it keeps them all from moving around. They don't travel. And of course, you're going to want, like your little phrases and sayings or your graphics. You're going to want whatever you want to use to decorate, okay? I like the words and phrases, but you may like to put a little picture on it. You want napkins if you want a Mod Podge or decoupage onto it. You're going to want your inks in assorted colors, and you're also going to want your fibers, so your ribbons, your laces, your yarns, twines, those types of things. Okay, so we're going to get all of that stuff together, and then I'll be right back and we'll get started walking through this process. Okay, all right, so let's start with prepping our piece. Now sometimes these come with little jagged pieces on the end, they're not perfect. That's what your emery board is for. Get on an emery board and just kind of, knock that off. Doesn't take much, and you can get rid of it. Nice smooth edges. And then these makeup brushes, you can pick these up at the Dollar Tree. These nice big fat ones. And, they're garbage bristles. You wouldn't really want to use this for makeup, but makes a great little broom, for your workstation. Love it. All right. So now I want to color mine, and I could do that with ink, and by all means, if you have spray ink, do that. But if you don't, let me talk about another way that you can do this, and that is just taking some acrylic paint. Just got a little bit of it dry. There we go. And, just put a couple of drops, like 2 drops down. And then just spray it with a little bit of water. And mix that up. And then you can put this on with a brush or, a craft dauber like this one. And then wipe it off. So I have a watercolor brush. I'm just going to put some color there. I'm going to paint it on here pretty quick because I don't really want it to dry. And then I'm just going to use a paper towel to wipe it off. Okay? And I'll do both sides of it. I'm just doing the one side just to show you right now. And then the edge, if I want to do the edge, and let's say I want the edge to be black, I'm not going to go at this with my dauber because I will ruin it. So I'm going to pick a spot on my ink pad that's towards the edge, you know, where we don't often go. And I'm just going to press it on there. And see, it just colors. Now you can also do this if you're really talented. You can probably pull this off with a permanent marker. I am not that skilled. Okay. So now I've got ink on the edge, color on the front. And I'm going to let my piece dry before I do anything else with it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for a few minutes and dry, and then I'll be right back. This is now dry. So the next step in this process is, you know, to start decorating it. And I like to put a background on it, so you can use, you know, these stamps that look like writing or wood grains, whatever you like. I'm going to use this one, I think. And I'm not doing this in black ink. Okay. I'm actually going to do this in an off color. So I've inked up my stamp. I've got this. It's on my foam pad. And the foam pad just helps to take this the impression. Now I'm not going to stamp the whole stamp, okay? I'm going to stamp part of the stamp. And I'm going to give it a second to kind of soak in. And then I'll ink it up again. And I'm going to stamp part of it over here. A little bit right there. Okay. I'm okay with that. So now that I have that on there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a heavy duty hole punch, and I'm going to use the smallest hole on this one. And I am going to decide where I want to put this, right here. I'm going to go ahead and put a hole through this wood. Now, sometimes it will crack. More often than not, it will not crack. So, you know, just go slow and easy. And, you know, this is a crocodile, so you're going to have to poke the piece out. Go. Come on, out you go. And it is out. Okay. So now if you're going to make a bunch of these, what you can do is you can stack them up, tape them tightly together, or clamp them, and then, you know, use a regular drill and just put holes through, you know, a stack of these. All right, so I have a hole on that end. I'm going to put a hole on the other end as well. Okay. Whew. All right. So now I have 2 holes in there. My stamping is done. So I'm going to get one of my 10mm jump rings. And we're going to pick out the bulb pin we want to use with this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get everything together and get ready to go, and I'll be right back to show you how to put this whole thing together. Okay, so we're ready to assemble. First thing I want to do is I want to make a tassel, because I want to add a tassel to this. And I've picked this like really pretty iridescent thread, because I put a dragonfly stamp on there. So I just kind of want to decide what what the length is that I want for this tassel. And then I'm going to 3 or 4 pieces about that long. One of the things I really like about this is it's a thread, so it will come apart. So that's 3, and I think that's going to be enough for what we want to do. So I'm going to take these, and I'm just going to put the end through the loop here. Find my midway, which is right about there. And then I'm going to use a piece of waxed thread. This is just left over from when I've done a book binding. And I'm just going to wrap that around there 3-4 times, nice and tight. And then I'm going to do just a standard square knot, right over left, left over right. Okay, and then I'm going to cut that off. Now over time, what's going to happen is these cords are going to fray. You can see they're starting to fray at the bottom. Love that look. So they're going to start to fray, and you can help it along by kind of running your fingers down it. Love that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this jump ring, and I'm going to attach it to one side. Okay. Then I'm going to take my little saying, which this one is, all limitations are self-imposed. I'm going to adhere this, and I can use whatever kind of glue I want. And then I'm going to use my bulb pin on the other side as my attachment. Okay. Now I could add a charm here if I want to, or I could add a charm at the top. I could put the tassel and the charm and everything all on one side. It's entirely up to me. I'm going to show you a couple of others that I've done and give you some ideas, and I'll be right back with those. Alright, so this is the one that we did together. This is faux stained, and we stamped on this one, and we made just a little string tassel that I'm going to frizz out by opening the fibers on this one. And I just do that by just dragging my fingernails down it, and it just opens it up. And so I'm going to be doing that to this one because I just like that whole iridescence to that. And then I did this one where I just painted this, and then I put some glitter on here, a little thing that says chase your dreams, bulb pin on the end, and then just a moon and a star at the bottom. And this one, which was the original inspiration for this, this is how I originally came about this, was these little popsicle sticks. And there is a video for this from a lady that I saw do this, something very similar to it. So if I can find the video, I will link it in the description box below. And this one's really easy. It just says follow your bliss. It's got a little cross at the bottom and a little bulb pin at the top, and that's it. It's just basic. And then I had this one where this is a piece of wood that is square, and I just painted it with some metallic paint, and I added this really fun, short, fuzzy tassel on here. It says take chances. And then there's this giant plate here. This is, again, it's just a piece of wood, and I put a really thick full tassel on this one, and this is actually a tassel that I made on my tassel jig. I will link that video below as well. And just a little bulb pin at the top to connect it. And then there's this one, which again is made out of a mini popsicle stick, but this one is a little bit different. This one has the little, you know, dare to dream on the popsicle stick, but then I added a charm at the top, and I added a tassel at the bottom with a charm on that as well, just to show, you know, you can do this a couple of different ways if you want to. You can add the tassel, you can put that at the top, you know, and just use this as just a way of adding a saying to your tassels. So that is it. That's all of them. And I hope that you try this project and that you enjoy it. And if you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 11, 12, and 1 across the country. And I post videos on Mondays and Wednesdays. And let's see, and I think that's about it. Until I see you again, stay safe. Bye-bye.